Good morning, beautiful people. This is a beautiful day. Today we are looking at HTML. HTML. Let's start today with the basics of HTML. I know so many of us must have been used to HTML, introduced to HTML, what it entails, what we use HTML for, etc. But today I just want to give you some tips, important things to note. Please, I want you to note that HTML is not a programming language. It's not a programming language like Java or C++ or Python. HTML is an the full meaning of HTML is hypertext markup language. So HTML is a scripting language, a markup language that enables the content of a web to be easily understood or read by user. Just think of you having jargons of codes, so many things put together, and you can't actually deduce what and what is being written. So HTML help you to embed, remove every part of unwanted part of your codes and let the user at the front end see what you want him or her to see. So HTML is like a back-end language for online pages. So every website you see today, every website, no matter how beautiful and pretty the website is embedded with what? HTML. That is the rudiment for online or website building up of a website rather. So today I just want to give us the rudiment, the introduction to it, what is needed to be written, what you need to run an HTML code, and how to run your HTML code. Firstly, an HTML code can be run by any text editor. For people using Microsoft Windows, you have a text editor that comes with it, which is the notepad. You can also use, like me, what I'll be using for this course is the Visual Studio Code. The Visual Studio Code help me to when you are using a special text editor, it colors the keywords and it does not color your own input, what the user will see at the front end. So this allows me to have fun while coding. So that's why I prefer the use of Visual Studio. So Visual Studio is what I'll be using for this course. And today we just want to look at the rudiment, the basics for HTML coding. The first thing you need to know is that all HTML document must start with a document type declaration. Like what you see here, you can see this line of code. This line of code you see me highlight here is what we call the document type. This tells the browser how to code your statements. Okay, once the browser notes doc type HTML, it senses that these are HTML codes and what it prepares to break it down so that it will be easily understood by the browser and the user can have the products embedded into the codes. Also, the HTML document itself begins with open tag HTML. Open tag, you can see what I mean by open tag. This is an open tag. An open tag is an arrow, open arrow and close arrow. That is what we call the tags. The visible part of the HTML document is between the body and the body close. The body and the open body tag and the close body tag. You can see everything I have, anything you want to place in your HTML that the user will see should be placed in this highlighted part of the code. You can see my first heading. Do you understand? My first paragraph. So these two statements, when I run this code, will show me You understand me? Will show me where everything that is to be seen by the user at the front end of your page is going to be seen in between the body, the open tag body, and the close tag of the body. And also, all HTML code must be ended close with a close tag HTML. You can see at the beginning I have exclamation mark doc type HTML. That is an open tag to that HTML. And the close also is what? The close tag HTML. So what I have here, a open bracket forward slash HTML close. That's what we call a close tag. A close tag is open bracket, front tag, and whatever keyword that you have used. Do you understand? So that is what a close tag look like. So today we'll be looking at our first website, what it looks like. And also remember to save any of your HTML code, remember to always save it with .html. Saving it with .html extension makes it easier for your operating system to convert it to a document that the browser can have access to. You can use any browser, but in this course, I would prefer you use Chrome, Explorer, or Firefox. Chrome or Explorer or Firefox. These three browsers are going to be used in this lesson. So let me just explain what I have here. The first line you see, line 1. Don't worry, I'm going to produce or tag the codes in the lesson, because the last lesson someone said she was not able to see the text or the codes that I have in the text. So I told her that subsequently we'll make sure the text or the codes are also pasted in the class, so that if you walk around with it, you see what I wrote, you see how I write it, and you can also practice it for a better understanding. So the first line, which is the open exclamation mark doc type. This first doc type, do you understand me, is a declaration that represents the document type, I said it earlier, and helps the browser to display web page correctly. It allows the browser to display your web page correctly. It must only appear once. This does not need any close tag. I mean the exclamation doc type. It does not need any close tag. It appears once, and that is always at the beginning of your coding of your HTML. Before you now write your HTML, you can see exclamation mark doc type space HTML. That is only where you see doc type. Subsequently, you will never see it in the code again, because you have already declared that browser, I want you to take these codes and display it especially as an HTML code, and subsequently you don't need to declare it again. Once you declare it once, others are done for you. Then also I move down to the HTML. You move down to the HTML, then you move down to the body. I said that earlier, that the important parts of this code, or rather put, the part that the user will see at the front end when accessing your sites with a browser, is every code that is embedded between the open tag of the body and the close tag of the body. In this class, we will see where I have the heading H1 and the paragraph. Heading 1 means what? My first heading, making it the most important heading in my code. We can have heading 1 to 6, yes. Heading 1, heading 2, heading 3, heading 4, heading 5, heading 6. I'm going to show us also heading 1, heading 2, heading 3. Heading 1, heading 2, and heading 3. But you can also walk around with the other 3 headings so that you see how it works. But our heading 1 defines the most important heading, and we can have up to heading 6. I said that earlier. Then also after the heading 1, I have my first paragraph. My first paragraph. HTML links are also, you can embed links from one website to another website to HTML. There are ways we do it, but first let's see what this code produces. So after writing your codes, what do? You save. You understand? You save your code. Save your code as .html. As I said it earlier, always remember to put the extension HTML. Do you understand me? So mine is my first, I can say my first site .html. You see, as simple as that. Then choose your location where you want it to be. And also please, everything that you are going to be putting in your website, since we are not coding on a server, we are coding on our laptops or on our phones. For some people that might use their phones, please make sure all the codes are kept in a folder. If you are embedding an image, you are importing a video, you are creating a link to another site, whatever you are doing that needed a file, please make sure everything is placed in a folder, so that easily the browser can easily can easily load those files, so that it won't be looking for the image from the directory, my document. I'll be looking for another image in my directory, classwork. Do you understand? It will not work like that, since it's not on the server. So make sure all files related to this site you are creating is created in or placed in a folder for easy access. Then you save. Once you save, then you can minimize your code, then go to where you saved. You can see mine is in HTML. I created a folder HTML, then I go to my first site. Look at what my first site will look like. I'm opening with an Explorer. Let me see what my first site look like. You can see what my first site look like. My first heading, then my first paragraph. You can see what is there. My first heading, my first paragraph. Let me just minimize this. Let me minimize this and bring up my code, so that we work it hand in hand, so that you see some changes that I'm making. Let me also input the heading 2 and heading 3, like I said earlier, and that is where we might stop today. Then you ask questions in the class, I give answers to it for today. Let me just do that. Heading 2 and heading 3. You can see that I am not rewriting the whole code, since I'm just changing few things about it. So you can just copy and paste. For people that knows how to use their keyboard, I said it, there are some things, the rudiments, part of the rudiment of this is you being able to use your keyboards, your control keys, your shortcut keys for a faster working out of this whole thing. Then after you might have changed whatever, after you must have changed whatever you have changed, please remember to save again. Do you understand? Remember to save again, so that your code can be updated, so that once you now go to the browser, you have the correct output. So after I've edited, I come back here to save. Once I save, what happened? I now go back to my browser and refresh. Once I refresh, you will see I told you earlier that the first heading is the most important heading, and we can see that is why this heading is so big, is clearer and more visible than other than before the second heading and my third heading. So that is how smaller it becomes till we get to the sixth heading. So don't forget, you can walk around with the fourth, fifth, and sixth heading. That's where I'll stop today, so that I won't just bombard you with so many quotes and quotes and quotes, and the class will become boring. So, any question, please hit me up, ask me your questions, and I will be glad to answer. Good day.